Hey, how we doing?
I'm Keisha.
I'm Rashad. Another episode of Hanging with the Joneses. This is episode
4?
4.
Quattro?
Yeah, for my Spanish-speaking folks. This is episode 4. We talk about life, love, and marriage, and we got a new topic for today. Quick recap about the week. Haven't seen you guys in a while. So how was your week? How was last week for you?
It was pretty good. Work from home. Didn't do no. I'm gonna stop saying that. I did not, but just working. There's been a lot. Shout out to our essential personnel, because social workers always get left out, but we out there too. Shout out.
But you're working at home.
No, I'm not. I'm essential personnel.
You're working.
Keep going.
How are you essential at home?
I am essential. Go ahead.
That's the case. I'm essential too. But
No, your whole thing is closed.
Wow.
Your school's closed.
School's closed.
The hospital never closed.
But you're not there with them.
I am.
In the trenches.
I am.
Grinding it out.
I am. I'm in the basketball court.
First line of defense.
I'm in the court with them.
No, you're not.
We shooting.
You're not even.
We
You're not
train
even in
together.
the arena.
Yes, I am.
You're
Yes,
somewhere
I am.
else.
That's something. Hello, that was me.
You
That
are
was me right there.
at the house.
So shout out to my essential social workers. We out there too grinding.
Yeah, and all the teachers. You still got to teach these kids from home. Yeah. Shout out to the parents who don't want to teach their kids.
Yeah, because we don't. We don't want to teach our children.
Oh, like I hate teaching kids, man. Like little kids, like Maddie, like Nia age.
It's hard.
Like,
So shout out to those teachers, because it is hard. And I joke and say, this was never my intention to homeschool.
nah, elementary,
This not
pre-K.
fair.
Like much love to y'all. Like y'all the real MVPs. Like I love kids, but I can't teach them. They're the worst. Absolute worst. They're the worst students. They don't care. They don't perform well. And then they expect to have like snacks and crap afterward. You didn't earn this snack, yo. Like, why are you asking me for all this other stuff? You didn't do anything.
But
today.
he tried to go partial. He don't want to give her a snack, but he wants her to go take a nap. No,
Yeah,
you got.
yeah. It's nap
I'm
time.
like, Rashad, it's 10 o'clock. It's not nap time.
Yeah, it is
She
nap
just
time.
woke up.
You didn't listen. Time to take this nap. Yeah, man, but like my week's was pretty good. You know, back to the groove of things, and I jumped my jump rope broke. So
Good.
I'm in the process of buying another one. Good. Why'd you say good? That's how I get my cardio with my jump rope.
No. Because there's more random purposes.
You just mad because you can't jump rope.
Why can I jump rope, Mr. Jones?
I've never seen it.
What? You lie a lot.
You've never utilized a jump rope in
Okay.
our
What else?
years
Can I
of
ride a
marriage.
bike? I can't.
I've seen that.
So I can't jump rope.
I doubt
I have to jump double dutch.
So that had nothing to do with jump rope.
Yep, that's not a rope.
But somebody's helping you.
How's somebody helping me jump double dutch? You still have to jump. Oh my gosh. See, people who jump double dutch, you know how that's for more of a professional jump roper.
Is that even still a thing? It's like 4
It
people
is.
doing that?
It should be competition. My mother won competition.
How old's your mom?
Oh, shut up.
Used to be competition.
Ma, I'm going to tag you on this video. Slap him.
Oh my God.
Slap him, Ma.
Well, back in the olden days, huh? The days
Slap
of,
him.
in the golden days of yore, when we jump rope with 2 people, with 2 ropes.
Make me hot.
Yeah. Competitions.
Yep. I was in a double dutch team.
Good for you.
Mm-hmm.
That's
All stars.
All Stars?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good. Good for you.
So it wasn't that long. You just used to be in the country. We got to chase fireflies. They didn't have no street to jump on. They had dirt roads. That's why.
Yeah. Chasing fireflies. So
Yeah.
rather chase them than chase bullets.
I chase none. I chase dreams and aspirations.
Yeah. I'm sorry. You dodge bullets, right?
No, I chase dreams and aspirations.
Okay. Sound like old Negro spiritual over here. Anyway. Oh, man. All right. Let's get started. So today we're going to talk about something that we kind of touched on before, but not really. And that is having expectations for your marriage. I think that's something that we sort of did, but not really did until somebody actually told us what it was and made us really think about it. Because if there are no expectations, there will always be miscommunications. There'll always be things that you are wanting from your partner and not getting from them. And you will be non-verbally expecting these things to happen. But since you don't say it, and then you think the other person should know it, it never happens.
I don't think when we first started dating, we really thought about expectations.
Nah.
I think I dated went like this. You believe in God? Yeah. You believe in God? Yeah. Okay, that was it.
That's foundation.
Yeah.
Good foundation.
Not even though we believe in the same God.
Yeah.
Practice the same way.
Nah.
You believe in God?
Okay.
Yeah, okay. It's meant to be.
God's good.
You go to church sometimes?
Yeah.
When last time you went? Okay, me either. Okay, we good.
2-3 years.
That's how it really was. So we didn't even think about expectation. I think it was first time is when we did marital counseling.
I wouldn't say then. Like,
well, I would say because pastor talking about making having a vision for your marriage.
But like,
and it was kind of like I think when we kind of got it is when we got that prophecy for Luther Baker.
No, I didn't.
I said kinda.
No, it like put like this, like the whole expectation thing really didn't come into fruition till like maybe 7-8 years in our marriage.
Yeah, but I was saying like along the ways there were hints.
Yeah, but nobody.
But it didn't manifest until almost 10 years later.
It didn't manifest. Nobody even said like, yeah, like you should have expectations. I think that was one of the things where we kind of really had to wait till somebody told us because we just didn't know. I mean, like, I forgot. I think it was some sort of like marriage thing. Or it was like, I think with the marriage counseling later on. Yeah. No. It was Davis. Davis told us.
Oh.
It was Davis. So we got sat down, had some marital counseling. This we do every time to time because you should talk to somebody else about your marriage, and just to have a unbiased third party really kind of come through and to make you all reflect on what your issues are, or could be, or just good to check in. So we were challenged a couple of things. One, did you know what your spouse's number one fear was? Like, what is your spouse's fear? And secondly, do you have expectations for your marriage, or what were your expectations for marriage? And through those two things, that led to a conversation where we never actually addressed what our expectation for marriage even was.
Now, when we say expectation for marriage, I had an expectation is what I want in a spouse.
Yeah.
However, once you cross over to the road, what's your expectation for our marriage? I don't think I quite had it. I didn't have it.
Nah.
Or we had expectations, but we never communicated to each other. So when we got married, I remember we was talking, we each was expecting each other to be something else, but we never communicated. Like, we just thought because of our upbringing, like it was just going to happen. And I think when we were back then, we didn't even think about that. It just don't happen like that.
Nah, it was weird because like when it was posed to me, it's like, yeah, I have expectations for marriage. I feel like, you should be a loving couple. You know what I'm saying? I expect like, my wife to support and care, yada yada yada. But that never, like, I never actually said those things to you. So it was
support. Oh,
yeah.
That was a big one for you.
Yeah.
Getting used to being supported.
Yeah. So like I wanted those things, but I never eloquated those things, and especially at the time. I mean, and it's just people, especially if you're younger in your relationship, courtship, and or marriage. Some of those things you may not be able to actually say because you don't know that you should be saying them, or that emotion or that want or that core longing is even there.
Especially that big one. Support is a big one because Rashad, you like, even though that was your expectation, you kind of pushed that away.
Yeah.
So for instance, when we was dating, he was in the band, and I would go to all his anything band related. That was, I didn't have to travel for, or, travel outside of Virginia for. And he's like, why are you here? And it was football games. I do not like really any sport. So he was like, why are you here? I'm like, to support you. He was like, really? Like, why? And I came from a big family. If one of my family members is in the shoelace tying competition, we all going like, tie that shoe. You better get it. Like, am I right, Michelle? Yeah. So that's what I'm used to. So when he said, like, why are you here? To see you. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, it was foreign to me. But because when I came out, like my people were either they were busy or they were at work, they had things to do, they had responsibilities. So the expectation was you have to if it's something that you want to do, you're gonna be probably doing this by yourself. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't like I didn't really realize it until like I was in college.
Was it me?
Not even. No, not you. Close to you, but not you. My I didn't realize it like when I got to college. Like even like when me and my boy Jonathan, we went to Norfolk State together, and we basically packed up his old van and left by ourselves. Mm-hmm. Like if I would have went during the normal school, I wouldn't be able to check myself into the dorm because I was only 17. Mm-hmm. If you 17, like you need to have a parent sign you in. Since I was in the band, they just pushed up. They just ignored all that, and I was able to get into the dorm. So like that type of thing. I was seeing everybody's like parent there, actually like with their kids and trying to like send them off, and it just was like, oh man, like my parents should be here for this, and like and it was like wow, like yo, like I really feel like at that moment I was like, yo, I'm really doing this like by myself. Mm-hmm. But then like I don't know if it's just like the opposite of that kicked in. I was like, yo, well shoot, well this on me then. Can't nobody like they can't require or ask of me of anything. You know what I'm saying? Because this is on me. So the whole having support thing was very foreign. You know what I'm saying? Like they supported in what they could, but like having like sustained and constant support, consistent support, nah.
Yeah, and that was foreign to me, not having support. And I think kind of with you, I didn't realize how much support I had.
Oh yeah.
Because it was so you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I could sign up for 1,000,001 programs, and my parents are going to be there to cheer me on.
Yeah.
Someone's going to be, and then she's going to make my siblings come. So that, and then everyone else is going to come. So, and even some of the stuff I tell that, you like, and your parents supported that? I said, yeah. Why not?
Why? So like, this makes no sense to me. So, yeah, like.
Anti-marriage.
Yeah. It really bled over.
Yeah.
And like I was saying before, I alluded to, like, I didn't know that was something that I should have been communicating in the first place, because I didn't know it was a real need until I realized that I didn't have it. Just because you're ignorant to a thing doesn't mean that you can't become not ignorant to it. And when you become knowledgeable of something, it kind of reconceptualizes like how things happen. Mm-hmm. So I had to go back and look at like where, like, okay, who was there, who was supporting, when people were there, when people weren't there. So it really kind of makes sense of my upbringing and other things I won't talk about today. But like I really had to go back like, okay, now I know like who like what matters and who matters.
Mm-hmm. I was just say, going back to come to our relationship, when we finally did have that discussion, we kind of had like to apologize to each other.
Yeah.
Because we were holding each other up to a certain standard that we just expect the person to know. And I don't think how old, like 20. I was 20 when we got married.
Yeah.
You was like 30.
21. like we're having a serious conversation.
Okay.
And you break
so
into
I
a joke.
But I don't think we even knew to think think our younger stuff even knew. And then 10 years later, I don't. When Pastor said it, we was kind of like, so what were you thinking when you got? And just kind of that conversation was like, you were thinking that, and I can't remember exactly our expectations on each other were, but I know it's like, really, that's what you thought a wife should be? That was never my like. I did not to say I would have any problem being that. There was I didn't know that's what you needed, and I'm not sure that you really need that. That was just kind of like because a lot of stuff we talked about how we saw couples on TV do stuff.
Yeah, because now I remember. Because the question was like, who is your role model for marriage? And I was like, it took me a minute to figure out just one or two couples who were actually like prototypes of a marriage. Did you even think of anybody?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, like, and then I had to kind of really go back, like, wow, like even those couple marriages that I picked, like in my mind was like, was that really a good answer for the question? You know, like it was.
I'm just thinking. I'm not sure if I know. Now maybe no more people marry, but back then I'm not sure if I even knew too many people that were married. Period. And even one of my daughters was like, "I've never been a flower girl," and I was like, "Well, when last time someone got married?"
Yeah.
Someone we knew. It's been a minute. It's been a while.
Yeah.
So to set our own example was kind of hard, but in a way I like it because there was no thing that we had to follow. Like we were able to create our own path, our own mode. So when we adjust those expectations, we had to, okay, look, I ain't gonna never do that. I'm not gonna never meet up to that, but this is what I'm willing to do.
Yeah, it made us aware, like I feel like if we acknowledge that, like, okay, like our expectations were jacked up and we didn't really tell the other what we really wanted, and then we kind of became aware that we do have expectations. Some of these expectations really aren't realistic, especially for how our family was constructed at the time and how we both had. It was a dual income household. We're both working, and like especially like then, like you were working from like the no life shift from like 3 to 10,
1:30 to 10.
1:30 to 10. So like like there were some things that I know you wouldn't be able to do, and then like if I wanted to have a decent household, like I would have to do, So it was. I feel like expectations need to be flexible. They need to be able to kind of shift and be malleable and move with time because things change. Nothing.
Expectation and reality.
Yeah, for real. Because the reality of life was like 8 years ago, 7, 8 years ago. Is totally different from what it is now.
Because I think even your expectation, you kind of wanted me to be a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah, early on, yeah.
And it was never ever in my intent to be a stay-at-home mom. But that's something I didn't even know that he wanted. But I never like I want to be a stay-at-home mom. But when we had Desiree, when she kept getting sick, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do the stay-at-home mom. And I don't think you like me staying home.
Nah.
See, so what he wanted, he eventually didn't like. Because, okay, staying home, at that time, I stayed at home, but everyone else was working. So there was, like, nothing else for me to do. I took care of the baby. The house was, like, immaculate. Like, I used to literally clean with toothbrushes because, I have time. And I used to, school. I did teach her. Other than that, it was like I used to wait for him to come home because I had nothing. Like that was the only adult I can talk to. because everyone else was at work.
Yeah, and then I'd be inundated with like, "How's your day?" Like, and especially back then, like
It was like
oh
I'm like,
God.
and then they say what, and you say what, and then I feel that like I was really like.
Yeah, and especially back then, like the way I communicate was like way less than how much I do now. Like back then, I wasn't entertaining none of them conversations. Like now, I understand. Like okay, it's a point to this, even if I don't want to do it. Like I'll entertain it. But back then, nah, it's
And
a
then
hard.
we didn't know anyone,
Yeah.
especially where we live. We didn't know anyone. We only had one car, so when you took the car to work, it wasn't like even an opportunity to really go anywhere. So it's like I was just in the house. So when he came home, it was like, tell me more. Tell me everything you know. You woke up, got in the car, and then what happened when you got out? Like it was like literally like that because everyone else was working. So it wasn't any adult communication.
No, not at all.
Now I think now would be different. But I never had a desire to stay home.
Yeah.
I never had a desire. So even with that, with talking about with expectation, even remember your expectation was to have two boys back to back.
Yeah.
That was, I don't know if you remember the episode last week. I never thought I would have children. So you're alone. Two children back to back. I was like, no.
Yeah, and having like 3 girls, that totally was derailed. You know, so.
We were like 5 and 10 years apart.
Like yo, like I thought the other day I was looking at Nia, I was like, God, yo.
When they all
I was
still
like,
have one
yo,
house.
like Des is gonna be a junior. She's gonna be in kindergarten. I'm like, yo, this is gonna suck.
And when our oldest go to college, we're gonna have a second grader. Hey, but even that's and we didn't know. So how we overcame that? Just talking.
Yeah, like we just started having honest conversations.
And I guess when life kind of gave you like say the stay at home, you realize that wouldn't work for me.
Yeah, I mean, I had to let you be you.
Yeah. Like I was looking for jobs as anything, just like I got the house.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, like yo, you don't want to write McDonald's. Like, why did you even apply?
I went got the house. I didn't care. My check wasn't enough for gas, and then whenever it was up, I bought stuff from the mall right back into the store. So I didn't care. I just wanted to stay home. I mean, I just wanted to be out.
Yeah.
But now when I started working to 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, come home 11 o'clock, I did want to be home. I think I never wanted to be a stay home, but I did want to be the mother who I took my children to school and was there when they came back home. And,
yeah, that wasn't realistic at all.
But I did while I worked late. I was able to take them to school. Remember, I used to volunteer a lot in the school.
Yeah.
But then, that's hurt my feelings because sometimes Rashad would bring them to me for lunch just so we can have a little time. And they's like, all right, Mom, I'll see you tomorrow. That used to hurt my feelings. I said,
oh my
you
God.
remember?
Yeah, it's even worse. Like, stop crying.
Right. I was like, see you tomorrow. Like, this is 4 o'clock Wednesday. You told me to see you.
God, like, why did Desiree say this?
And that used to hurt my feelings, but it's kind of like especially then, we had to do what we had to do.
Yeah, definitely.
So I try to do stuff since I went to work later. I tried to I volunteer at the school. So in the daytime, I was mostly at the school. But when I came home, they were already asleep.
Yeah.
And the homework was done and all that stuff. Which I feel like sometimes me being in the house, homework wasn't done efficiently.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
I'm not about to say anything, especially after I don't work at school. I'm about to say in school, y'all too. Y'all better get it how you live.
So, but even then, I could say expectations. I probably would never thought I would work a night job. You know what I mean? My expectations that I would be home. I guess we kind of model our expectations after the Cosby Show. To be honest with you.
Right.
You know, like both of them. One's a doctor, one's a lawyer, but they always home. And when it really happened, not doctors or lawyers, but it's like when we have careers, it's like that is totally fake. That is no way to always be home.
Nah.
There is no way.
Nah, it makes no sense.
So what you think about how we doing now with our expectations?
I think now, like, we're pretty comfortable with saying what we want in the moment. I know, like,
And it changes.
it definitely, and like I said before, you have to have that room to be flexible because certain things may have worked yesterday. Wake up today like, bro, it's not working no more for me.
I mean, and we've been together 18 years, so I knew you even before we dated when I was 17.
Yeah.
And now we're closer to 40.
Yeah, like
it's
that,
not the same thing.
Like, especially since I've had time to just be home and reflect, and even like, man, I used to go to Norfolk State with. He was there. He just been like flooding our FB group with like bunch of old stuff and clips and pictures. Like, bro, like I'm not that person no more. I'm so far removed from that.
You are.
Like, and like it's cool to be nostalgic, but like man, like I'm not there no more. Like I don't even have the same emotion about things like I used to. So it's really weird, and like even in that, just like people changing over time. If our expectations stay the same, then that stagnates a relationship, even with a friendship. The expectation you have with a friend or even a coworker or whoever is going to evolve
Hopefully.
as you all's relationship evolves. So it definitely was kind of like, you know, real, like I was just in shock, like, yo, like that is not me no more.
And like you said, the first thing was to kind of communicate, like, yeah, that worked when I was 17, 18. It ain't working now. I don't like that.
Nah.
I changed. Nothing stayed the same. And I know sometimes we expect everything to change, but each other. You know what I mean? Not saying us, but sometimes people can expect everything to change. They want their job to change. They want finances to change. They want everything to change, but not the relationship. And I think we kind of welcome the change.
Yeah,
I want it to be a good change.
Yeah, and like and some of that change was definitely forced, and some of the expectations weren't of our choosing. So even like when you got sick, expectations totally changed because there were things you couldn't do at the time. So like I had to be there for that. Like when I
got sick,
or like even when
I was in my process of healing.
But still,
I hate saying I was sick.
Okay, but you were sick first before you got healed, so I don't understand.
I said the process.
Oh yeah.
I was in my process of healing.
So when you got sick and then you were in your process of healing,
I wasn't sick. Okay.
You still like you
that
still,
was a change.
Yeah, it was a definitive
that was
change.
Like a sharp.
Yeah, even
change.
like when I didn't have a job for like almost like really like I didn't have like a steady full-time job for like 3-4 years.
Yeah, that was a change.
Like,
ooh, that was rough.
Yeah, like so it was some things that definitely were different, and expectations of everything had to shift. You know, so you like I really feel like for marriages to survive and relationships in general to survive, people have to be aware of what their friend, partner, whoever is really needing at the time, and be able to communicate that honestly. Because sometimes we go through a thing and then really don't know how to say how we feel, or even won't even say like I don't even know what to say.
Or even sometimes pride.
Yeah.
It's like I know I want to say, I didn't say, but I ain't saying that and be out there looking all transparent and you come back and play me.
Yeah.
And nothing that's happened, but in your mind, you create a story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah. We'll talk about that another day too. Cause I mean, but for real, it can be really difficult to be. It can be like even like for myself. I looked at myself a certain way for so long when the expectation of me as a person had to change, it was really hard for me to accept what the new expectation of me was. And I was like, wow, but I've been so cantankerous. I've been able to be angry. I've been able to be pretty upfront and just downright nasty. And it was accepted.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it was like...
That's who it wasn't accepted from.
It was, no, definitely not you. Like, you was always an exception to that rule. But still, it was pretty much accepted until it wasn't acceptable anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And the expectation of me had to change. I was like, man, like, I don't know how, like, I don't even know what I am outside of this.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, that whole, like, thing about identity and who I am, who I have become, really started to come into play. And it's just a different set of expectations, man. That was rough for me.
Mm-hmm. So where are you in that expectation? Where are you? Are you on your way, kind of through that process? Or?
Yeah. I'm past that. That was a couple of years ago when I had to really resolve to be just a more refined individual. Like I'm getting too old to really be this rough around the edges. Sometimes I still be getting pissed off and not caring, but like it's not an elongated or a prolonged thing.
Mm-hmm. It's not you. It's not.
Yeah, that's not really who I ascribe to be.
And I would say, like, even just talking in life, we all have these processes. You know, expectation, how to get this, or a process. So that's why even when you say the 6, to me, it was my process of healing.
Yeah.
I just don't like to declare I'm sick. It was a process of healing. You know, still in that process a little bit. I'm still in the process, but not where I was 5 years ago, 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all this in your process, I feel like I think we talked about this before. Process, the expectation, it either makes you closer or apart.
Yeah. It can make or break you.
Yeah.
Definitely. Because if you're not, because especially when the expectations of life change, either you're going to try to find those expectations, try to find somebody who can fulfill those expectations for you, or you can kind of shift with it and find new things to be appreciative about, be thankful for, or just to really have an honest conversation with yourself about this may not be the time for this. Like, yeah, definitely.
And I would say sometimes even with the expectations or process expectation, you don't always, you can support, but you don't always have to agree. Like, you do that. Oh, don't think it's crazy, but what you need, I got you.
Yeah.
And I have finally came to the point where I don't need you to always agree.
Yeah, that took you a long time to get to that point.
Yeah. Now to the point like, oh, okay, you don't like him, I'm going ahead.
Yeah,
you don't need to agree. Explain what's going to happen. You don't think it's a good idea, but I do. And sometimes after you see it worked out, you're like, oh,
that was good.
That's a good idea. Like, I told you.
But
and then the next thing you say, so why you ask me for?
Yeah, like if you don't need my opinion, like don't be trying to field opinions and you still gonna do it. That's annoying.
Expectations. I don't want to jump and you don't know I'm jumping yet. You still back there. That's called open communication, effective communication.
Right.
I'm letting you know my stuff, where I'm at.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I try to keep you abreast. Don't swallow. Don't choke.
Anyway, you got anything else to say? I think you pretty much wrapped it up pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, I really hope that with this conversation today that people really sit down, even if like you gotta write it down or like put in your notes and then like let your partner see it and then really have a conversation about, all right, this is what I thought it was gonna be. All right, this is what it is. What can we do to actually make our thing work? And that's really what it's about. Like, I don't like this ain't even marital advice. We're just having a conversation. So whatever's gonna work for you all is gonna work for you all. It may not work for somebody else. What we saying today may not work for you at all. I mean, so be it. It's fine by me. But at least you all know where you all stand. So if things go south, it won't be a surprise.
And even, let's say, for us, we do the beginning of the year. Not that we have New Year resolutions, but it's kind of easier to keep up with the beginning of the year.
Goals.
Yeah. And we do. Okay, what's the vision for our marriage this year? Did we meet the vision that we set last year? What's the vision for yourself independently? What's the vision for your career? And what's the vision for us as parents? And we do this every year. And using New Year's, we sit there and evaluate if we got closer or further away to that vision. But I would say the most important is to have not only a vision for yourself, but for your marriage. And not even do it as a parent.
Definitely. You gotta have some sort of sense of direction of where you want this thing to go. Because if you don't, it'll just go anywhere, and you'll have no real control over it. But yeah, that's all I really got. This episode is brought to you by coffee.
No.
Just coffee. Not a brand. Just coffee.
Hanging with your Joneses. See you next week.
All right.
How long was it?
30, probably like 35 minutes.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Yep.
Good job.
That's so good. It's so dirty.